My name is Mandy Thompson. We're here to talk about the thing that I'm not. I'm not a mom. And that's not something that is necessarily of my own choosing, although the thought does petrify me, but it is something I would like to experience in life. And my husband and I have tried for the past 3 years to start a family and have been unsuccessful, mainly unsuccessful in that endeavor. We struggle with infertility. We did happen to get pregnant once, a little over 2 years ago, and very quickly lost the baby. And that was a nightmare of a week for us. Just as soon as we found out that we were expecting, we found out that we were losing. And it's quite a roller coaster ride. Infertility is a roller coaster ride from month to month, but then you add that what if, you add that degree of excitement and loss to it. And, there are people that say, well, at least you can. But we still don't know if we can because that hasn't happened 2 years later. So it's something that I have struggled with in my own identity. It's something that I've struggled with spiritually and socially as well, because I am about to be 32 years old, and almost all of our friends are parents now, and we don't really fit into that social category. So we're still, even though we've been married 7 years, we are last in line to be parents. And so we can't really relate to what that's like for the people that we love. It's really hard sometimes when faith and life collide. And when you read the Bible, it's very clear that number one, God is the author of human life. And that number two, He is the author of individual pregnancies. And it's also very clear when you read the Bible, it's very clear that women who are without children feel a sense of desolation and almost a curse. They feel like God's hand has been removed from them, and His blessing has been removed from them. And I keep saying they feel that because in as much as I've seen elements where God has given children to people and miraculously given children to people, I haven't yet found a place in Scripture where God has actively withheld a child from a woman. The way I've answered that question in my own life is to say there's an element of brokenness in the world that just is. And it's an element of brokenness that is a manifestation of the curse and the fallen nature and the sinful nature of our humanity and of our world. And it's not Eden. It's not paradise. And I honestly believe it's not the way God originally created the world to be, and it's not the way it's going to be whenever we enter the second world. When there's a new heaven and a new earth, there will be no barrenness, because this is a manifestation of brokenness. The next question is, well, Mandy, if He can miraculously give to the barren woman, why can't He supersede this brokenness and open my womb and miraculously give to me? This is the part that makes it hard. I don't blame God for my infertility, but I still believe that if He wanted to, He could heal my body. And in those moments when I think about why He hasn't done that, when I have cried out, when I have lost count of the number of people that are praying for me and my husband and praying for us to become parents, at the end of the day, I have to believe that there is some greater life that is meant to come from this moment of desolation. And I don't know if that is a greater life of faith. I don't know if that is a greater life of providing counsel for people who, like you, who might be listening right now. I don't know if that's a greater life of having the opportunity to do things right now that we wouldn't be able to do if we were parents. I don't know if it's the greater life of the strength that comes from standing others under such a trial. have no idea, but I do know that God doesn't waste a single moment of our life, whether it be joy or pain. In some way, his hand will still reach down and intersect my life and bring me comfort and bring me peace and bring me purpose. And he's doing something in this barrenness. He's doing something, and there will be some life that comes out of it in some way. And I have to believe that that's the case. I don't say those things to tie a pretty bow around it and say, don't hurt. Because pain is okay. And it's okay to be mad at God. And it's okay to be mad at the world. And it's okay to just be mad. And it's okay to hurt. And when I say, when I tell you that I have to believe that there is something greater in my life right now, I say that after having pitched a fit for years. And it's not an easy resolution for me. And it's not a resolution that I welcome easily or that I glorify in. I don't say that. And so I don't negate the pain. And I don't negate the emptiness. And I don't negate how difficult it is to sit in a quiet house. And I don't negate how difficult it is to go to another baby shower or to try to look excited when a friend tells me they're pregnant. I don't negate those things. It's still hard. It's still hard. But faith is not easy, and joy is not easy. And the Christian life is not promised to be without pain and suffering. It's just a part of it. And I can say these things, but I need you to trust me and to know that I don't negate your pain, because I still feel the pain myself. And they have to live in tension. The life of faith is still a life of pain and suffering and questions. And we don't have all the answers, and they live in tension. When I stopped fighting my reality, when I stopped denying it, when I stopped being afraid of it, when I stopped being wrapped in anguish, I'd given up on all of those stages of grief, and I'd come to the acceptance stage, and I'd come to the place of saying, you know what, this is what's going on. The label of infertility is a label on my life, and part of coming to a place of resolution about your life, even the crappy parts, takes acknowledgement and takes acceptance. And I think writing about it was a way for me to process it and accept it myself. But I also desperately wanted for this element of pain in my life to be something where something good could come out of it for someone else. Because one thing I've noticed is that so many women who struggle with infertility, they don't talk about it. And so I thought, well, maybe if I talk about it, not only will it free me to come to a place of acceptance and peace and resolution, but maybe it will also free somebody else. And I found that to be overwhelmingly the case.